Okay, it's me again. I'm out running errands, getting ready to get out of the car, but I just thought of something. One last video, it occurred to me, I came across a really great article on CNN online platform. Please check it out. The Cast of a Different World. Many of you may remember that was the fictitious Hillman College in Virginia. It was back in the late 80s, from 87 to 1994, I believe, according to the article. Didn't realize it had been that long. So it's been 35 years since A Different World was on television. It was a really great show. It was a trendsetter. It was groundbreaking. They covered a lot of tough topics that weren't really talked about on television. Back in those days, as we all remember, there was a lot of censorship, certain things you couldn't talk about. You had to be politically correct, even more so than it is today. So they tackled some really tough subjects, but it was really great. The program featured Jasmine Guy. Most people equate her to A Different World. I think her character was Whitley. There was Don Lewis, Cree Summer, Charnel Brown, Daryl Bell, and Glenn Turman. And if you remember, the theme song was Aretha Franklin. It's a different world. If you go back, it was a really catchy theme song. And at the time, this is a little fact, many people knew that followed that program. Glenn Turman was married to Aretha Franklin at the time of that show, so that's probably what made the connection. But it was a great show. It talked about college life, and the reason I wanted to bring it because of financial literacy. Part of the reason for this tour, and what they're doing, is they're going around to several HBC, historically black colleges and universities, and their goal is to raise money to increase enrollment, and part of what they'll do is provide information and resources on financial literacy, career advancement, career planning, and also networking. I think that's totally amazing. I am a proud graduate of an HBCU, Howard University. I went there around the time, probably a little before this program came out, but I do remember it very vividly. I remember the good times that I had there. For those of you that went to Howard, I stayed in the quad my freshman year. That was a quadrangle. It faced the main campus, so we could see all the comings and goings of who was doing who and what was going on. So it was great memories of my time at Howard. So shout out to the Bisons. And I just thought it was a great experience. I love the fact that they're going out, increasing again. And what this article stated is not only at the HBCUs, but other universities want them to come do a tour, talk about financial literacy, career education, networking for PWI students on other campuses. So I think that's awesome. I have a wonderful podcast, Intentional Excellence, on Spotify. Please check it out. I have wonderful resources there. If you're a business owner, if you're in corporate America, if you're in HR, if you're a student. So I just think, what they're doing, that's why I'm super excited as an educator. I'm a woman of many trades, many talents, many skills. So I just think it's awesome. Again, if you remember that program in the 80s, it was groundbreaking. They used to have a lot of other famous celebrities. I think Patti LaBelle, Diane Carroll. Who can forget Diane Carroll? Patti LaBelle, I believe, was Kadeem Hardison's mom, and I believe Diane Carroll was Whitley, who's Jasmine Guy. I think that was her mother on the show. It was a wonderful show. I'm going to have to go back and see if I can pull it up on demand, or probably YouTube has clips from some of the old sessions. And then many of you that followed the lives of each of those characters, Daryl Bell, if I'm not mistaken, his family was an investment. I think his father founded the first black investment firm on Wall Street. So, I mean, that's just amazing. And Don Lewis, as we know, she went on to do a lot of great things. She and Sinbad was on the show. So we want to wish him well. I know that he's come out recently with some interviews because I think he's had some medical concerns. So Sinbad, we remember you from A Different World. I'm just trying to think of some of the people. I think Jada Pinkett did a guest appearance. I think Will Smith did a guest appearance. So a lot of the celebrities that we know and we love that are still in the business, they started out on A Different World. So I just thought it was amazing. So for those of you that are interested in HBCU, my advice, is view it as you would a job, a church, or any other institution. Do your research. Find out what the school offers, what benefits, what scholarships they have to offer, what is your field of study. Make sure that you go into a field that you will be able to have a good livelihood after. Don't get saddled down with student debts. That is not fun, as I mentioned earlier. I didn't have any undergrad debt. I did pay for my all of my graduate school finances. I did that out of my pocket. It took a while. I'm glad I did, but it was tough. I didn't have the student loans, but I did it, that's why it took me a little longer, because I was kind of one of those pay-as-you-go students. But I strongly encourage you to check it out. You may find one. I'm not saying Howard, but of course that's where I went. That's the largest HBCU located in Washington, D.C. The reason I went to Howard is because in undergrad, I was, not undergrad, in high school, I was very interested in politics. I wanted to go into politics. I wanted to be a senator or representative. I wanted to be a lawyer, the whole track. You go to law school, you become a senator or representative. That was kind of the track, in the 80s, what people did, 80s, 90s. Things are so different now. But at the time, that's why I chose Washington, D.C. I had family there. I have family members that have gone to HBCUs. I have family members that have gone to PWIs, predominantly white institutions. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying, do your research. I went to one because it fit my life situation. I had family in Washington, D.C. I'm not from there. My mom would not have allowed me to go that far from home without family that she could call to go check on me. And if there's a problem or she hadn't heard from me, how college students get. You get caught up in your own world. And your parents are kind of like an afterthought. I'm free. Anyone that's gone off to college, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I am free. So with that freedom comes responsibility, because a lot of people that started with me didn't finish with me. So those of you know that you've had those classmates also. So again, it was a great experience for me. I'm glad I did. Like I said, do your research. Go to the school that's best for you, that fits into your price point, fits into your budget. Don't bog yourself down with a lot of student debt. That's no fun. You can't get a house, you can't get married, you can't have kids, you can't get a car. It delays a lot of life experiences when you have so much student debt that you can never discharge in bankruptcy. From the time that you sign those papers until the time that you die, you're stuck with student loans. So just be careful, be mindful, do your research, and check it out. A Different World. Thank you to the cast of A Different World for bringing back that interest in the college tours. So until the next time, have a great day. Bye.